Galnet News, keeping your galaxy in focus, the 24th of June, 3301. In today's news, Federal President Hudson looks to the future, the savage side of Imperial slavery. Simguru offers to share tomorrow today. President's approval rating rocketing, and systems flocking to the Alliance in face of galactic turmoil. In a speech to business leaders today at the banqueting hall in Quiniset on Mars, President Hudson hinted at a raft of new policies to motivate the Federation's youth. As I said when I was the Shadow President, we are entering dangerous times. The Empire have been expanding recently more than they have for centuries. We have failed our own frontier worlds for decades, and it is hardly surprising they are leaving the Federation as they are. We need a stronger military, a military that gets respect from our youth. We need better soldiers, better fighters, better pilots. We need to be more outward-looking. Our youth has become flabby, lying inanimate, plugged into their sims hour after hour, day after day, living in dream worlds that never have existed and never will exist. They need to take part in the real world, and so we will be creating programs to allow them to do just that. Programs that will excite them, engage them, train them. We will fund these programs in full, the first of which will be announced to Congress on Tuesday the 16th. The Empire needs to know the Federation is strong. We were strong, and now we will be strong again. Commentators have already been speculating about the introduction of conscription, but this was denied by Hudson himself. I believe in the carrot, not the stick, he said. Congress has already agreed to a substantial rise in military spending, and naval shipyards throughout the Federation are at maximum capacity. Cynics have also noted that the Core Dynamics share price is at an all-time high. Core Dynamics has been a backer of Hudson for a long time, and many say that this is his payback. On the edges of Imperial space, the line between savagery and civilization blurs on an almost daily basis. Never has this been more apparent than this weekend, during which hundreds of supposedly honorable Imperial commanders crossed the border to smuggle massive quantities of Imperial slaves to sell in black markets controlled by the Kumo crew. Exactly what the Kumo crew plans to do with the Imperial slaves is unknown, although given how much the Kumo crew are paying for them, it's almost certainly not going to be pleasant. Under Imperial law, citizens are not permitted to sell their Imperial slaves for service to non-Imperial citizens, nor are they allowed to sell Imperial slaves on worlds outside of Imperial space. Those breaking the law run the risk of being forced into service themselves, although in reality Imperial Frontier Security Services tends to turn a blind eye to the practice. Galnet reached out to the Imperial Slavers Association and received the following statement. The sale of Imperial slaves outside of the borders of Imperial space is strictly prohibited by the order of the Senate. Any members of the ISA found engaging in such activity will be removed from the Guild and reported to the appropriate authorities. Simguru Pranav Antal made an appearance at the original Utopian commune in Antals today to address rumors that the Utopians had entered negotiations to ally themselves with Shadow President Winter's supporters. It is only right for us to honor what came before us. Sol is the birthplace of our race, the shining jewel of our galaxy. At least it is now that it has been restored to its former glory, Antal said. In that respect, the Federation is like an elderly relative, full of wisdom and useful life lessons, but ultimately unable to guide its children in finding their truth. In Utopia, we respect our elders, but we do not allow their love of the past to obstruct our path to the future. Members of the Federation are free to come to Utopia to study, to shape, to share in everything we have to offer. After all, the abundance of Utopia was created for all of mankind, and we wish for nothing but peace with our other selves. An alliance, though? No. While it is our duty to be concerned with the workings of the lower worlds, the Utopians will not allow ourselves to become tangled in the petty politics of those whose only true worry is their own personal power. Our goods are for sale, but our integrity is not, he went on to say. As a reminder to all budding entrepreneurs working hard to scrape some credits from the black, Utopia is currently looking to source a large supply of metals. Traders and miners interested in acting as suppliers to Utopia are being asked to deliver metal to Lobachevsky Station in Antal. When acting President Winters was replaced by Hudson, many political commentators questioned whether or not Congress was truly representing the will of the people. Just 2 weeks later, and the latest poll results suggest that Congress was right, and Hudson's support is very strong indeed. Almost 75% of federal civilians who responded to the poll said that they support Hudson's right to act as president of the Federation, while 68% saying that if there was an emergency election, they would vote to see Hudson retain office. In order to capitalize on popular sentiment, the Republicans have announced their intention to open 5 new conference centers in Analev, Brani, Zargas, Teoria, and Britsamino. At time of press, the deals look certain to go through in Britsameno and Zargas, although Analev's future less certain due to the large number of liberal supporters who call the region their home. As the leader of Alliance of Independent Systems, Prime Minister Mahan is no stranger to bureaucratic red tape. Unlike the other major galactic powers, the Alliance is not a single entity governed by a shared set of rules and values. It is a collective of independent systems grouped together for mutual protection and economic benefit. Mahan has said he sees his role as a trusted guide, whose job it is to keep the systems united. While this relaxed approach to leadership has seen Mahan maintain his position as Prime Minister for the better part of a decade, it isn't without its own pitfalls. Despite enjoying a massive amount of support among Alliance civilians, Edmund often finds it a struggle to focus his supporters on a single objective. Most recently, this caused the Alliance to lose a significant amount of influence in both Dahan and Zeta Trianguli, where in both cases the Alliance lost ground to shadow President Winters and her more focused federal campaign. Fortunately, the Alliance boasts highly skilled diplomats, resulting in a steady stream of worlds joining the Alliance. So despite Mahan's lack of focus, the taste of freedom is enough to ensure the Alliance will remain relevant in galactic politics for a long time to come. And that's all the Galnet news for today. Remember to tune in next time to keep your galaxy in focus.